Welcome to Chuck and Bash. This is our New Year's Eve. No, not New Year's Eve. Fuck that. Welcome to Chuck and Bash. This is our New Year's show, New Year's night. We actually weren't able to do our planned New Year's Eve show because of all the sickness that's been going on through everywhere.
Fake news.
Is it?
Fake news.
Okay, well, all the fake news I've seen.
They're not sick. They're faking it.
Exactly.
They're hired actors.
Yeah. No, there's not semi trucks, refrigerated semi trucks being used as morgues outside of hospitals like in 2022. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah. So we weren't able to do our New Year's Eve show as planned. We were trying to get a guest. All of that went down. My wife and kid. Of course, y'all can kind of hear how I sound. I don't know if I'm coming down with anything or not. But there's something rampant running through the states right now. I know it's that time of year. When I look at TikTok and I look at some Facebook, you'll see people that just keep saying it's influenza A. It's influenza A. It's influenza A.
Well, there is a new strain of COVID-26 running around right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And there's like 87 boosters too. I mean, we're.
Yeah, but that turns you into a android that can be controlled by Bill Gates.
Oh yeah, definitely magnetic blood and those sorts of things from what I hear. Now my wife went to the doctor the other day, and I texted her while she was in there because I was actually at a different doctor's appointment. And I said, hey, please ask the nurses because they did a COVID and a flu test. And I said, please ask the nurses what type of influenza, if it is. And because, I wanted this for the podcast. This was definitely something that I've been seeing on TikTok, social media, influenza A, this and that. Well, come to find out, my wife takes our daughter. Our daughter had been sick for 2 days. She's bubbly, bouncing off the wall. She's starting to feel better. My wife is going downhill. That was basically when she was going downhill. She takes the COVID and the flu test, comes back negative on both. Our daughter, who is recovering, feeling great, comes back positive for COVID and influenza A. So I'm like, even since the COVID era, all of the restrictions we had, like, people at work, you had to take the temperature when you come in. We had people that were basically just taking your temperature as you come in.
What I loved about that is people were claiming that it shoots a beam into your head and destroys your third eye. Fucking bullshit. It's an infrared thermometer.
It's literally it's what passive. The maintenance dude points at the vents all day to make sure your air conditioning is working.
Right, but it's some magical thing that they destroy part of a gland in your brain.
Well, there was a whole lot of those type of claims whenever COVID came out. And I don't know that I'm opposed to the Wuhan.
Look, I remember back in the day when we rounded these people up and stuck them in institutions for being just absolute nutcases. Well, now, like, you say some shit like that, some guys in white coats come and pick you up, you got help.
Right.
And you didn't have the ability of telling the entire effing planet your dumb bullshittery.
But, on the other end of that, the whole Wuhan thing, and, this coming from bats or wherever it derived from.
The wet markets.
The claim, yeah. We don't know that it wasn't unleashed on the world.
And you're right on that.
I have to give them that.
I personally do not have any facts or evidence upon that. I have to listen to what the alphabet organizations tell us. Right. But there's one thing that was undeniable, is that this was a noble virus that had become worldwide. We did not know what it could do, what it could transform into, because one thing people forget about is that every time somebody gets it, it has the opportunity to mutate. And we needed to minimize how many people caught it, slow the spread, Very simple. Cover up.
Right.
People have been doing that since, the Spanish flu of 1917.
Right.
The Japanese for decades, whenever
And still do.
they're
They never
sick,
stop.
they wear a mask. It's just common courtesy
You'll
for other
see
people.
Asian women in the supermarket all the
Right.
time. Just that's how they
But
do.
here, people were dropping to the floor claiming they can't breathe or intentionally going up and coughing on people. But the whole thing was, let's slow the spread till we can figure it out. But no, it had to be some sort of massive conspiracy to restart the world, a new world order bullshit.
Right.
Like I told you about the one coworker I had that said that the Democrats do this every year to stop people from voting, despite the fact we don't have elections every year.
Right.
And I asked him for examples, and of course he brought up the Spanish flu, which was more than 100 years ago.
So Spanish flu was a Democrat hoax, just
apparently. And then his second example was the bubonic plague. Are you fucking kidding me? There's been a couple of years between
Right,
these.
there's been a few. So, yeah, I mean, we had a few election cycles between them.
But no, it's every year they do this shit.
And that was the claim when COVID was going on, was, Democrats have to formulate some kind of crisis during election season.
While they were in power, by the way.
Right. And, discredit the coworker, but also this was a talking point at that time. They were like, okay, Democrats are going to do this every year just to make it easier to vote because they obviously want to restrict the vote. They do this under the guise that they want fair elections, but this is all about voter suppression. We know that. And, before we get into voter suppression.
I can rant about that.
And we will.
I was in Alabama during that time.
Let's do that.
Lord.
But, I did kind of want to stay on this sickness, of what I started at. Right now, there's a lot of sickness going on. We talked about COVID. And, now that we look back on it, people are like, oh, I was right. And it's like, okay, were you right? Because they literally just asked you to wear a mask. I'm sorry that infringed on your First Amendment rights and all of these other things that you're claiming.
Well, didn't you know about the 37th Amendment that says you get to go around making other people sick?
Right. But my thing is we didn't know what we were dealing with.
A noble virus. And
I was willing to do whatever somebody that was more knowledgeable than me about it was going to say. Okay, now they didn't really... Now, I couldn't fathom wearing a mask all day, but I did it. I did do it. I didn't drive down the road with it. This is their talking point to make fun of people. But here's the thing. I actually get out of my car to this day because it was such a second nature thing for me to have that mask. I get out of my car to this day and still have that feeling of like, do I need to get this on before I go in there?
I will make one confession, make fun of me if you want. If you do, go fuck yourself. Once, I did drive home with the mask on. That's because went to the store, did my shopping, paid for everything, put it in my truck, drove home, forgot I had it on. Apparently that makes me a moron, but the fact that this was such a minor inconvenience I forgot I was wearing it. Therefore, I'm stupid.
It was a part of us at that time, and that's exactly what I was going to say. So my morning routine used to be me getting up. I would go to the local Family Dollar because all of the rubbing alcohol was bought out, all of the toilet paper was gone, and all of the Lysol, nothing. So my daily routine consisted of me getting up, going to the local Family Dollar with a mask, jumping over to our CVS, jumping over to our local pharmacy, and then going to Dollar General, to Dollar Tree, and then finally ending up at Walmart before I brought myself home, striking out on all of those things. And I had to look for these things. I didn't have to. But, toilet paper, we like toilet paper. We have women in the household. Of course, we need it. I was trying to make hand sanitizer at the time because that's a vital part of my day is hand sanitizer.
See, that's where I was so lucky because at the time I was a single man And when I buy toilet paper, I'll buy the gigantic pack because it fit perfectly underneath my sink.
Yeah.
And I had done that before the whole toilet paper craze. So I was set with my 36 rolls underneath there. So I did not need to even interact with that whole rush on toilet paper where there was not a bump in supplies or anything. It's just people were panic buying. As a little bit of a nutcase, I'm kind of a prepper. I already had the rubbing alcohol. When I buy my dish soap, I was buying the gigantic refill thing.
Yeah.
I was set, and I only had to deal with just me. So the worst part of it was having to deal with customers because I was working retail at the time. But as far as needing supplies, man, I was set. I avoided so much of the worry and panic of it.
Right. Well, mine was more, we got females in the house. I want to keep them with toilet paper. The hand sanitizer, like you said, minor convenience. But where I was going with that is when I went to Family Dollar and then ended up bouncing right down the street less than half a mile, a lot of times I didn't take that mask off. I could have been that moron that you want to make fun of that was driving in my car with a mask on because it was more convenient to me to think about whatever's going on in my life because I'm used to living with this thing on. It has nothing to do. What am I going to transmit it to myself? I mean, what are they trying to get at is what I'm saying. And they try to make this a talking point like it's some kind of like we're. I mean, what the hell?
Well, they want to act like they're so smart and you're an idiot because like, who you make it tick in your car?
Right.
But again, the argument is I didn't even realize I was wearing it.
Right.
I'm going about my day. Yeah. It's kind of like when you first get glasses. They give you headaches. It's annoying. They push on your temples. They kind of irritate your nose. But after a while of wearing your glasses, like you will be wearing them, looking for them. Like where have I placed them?
Exactly.
But it's just you get used to it.
Exactly. And I know we ended up with COVID on that point, but I just wanted to say that right now there's a lot of sickness going on. I wanted to kind of share my experience of the last couple of days of me and my family, and it impacted our podcast. We actually didn't get to do our New Year's Eve thing.
We had a blast planned. Y'all would have enjoyed it.
Well,
all of us, we had guests, and all of us is going to be just off our tits.
And I had to blow the whole thing. I had to, and it was a disappointing text message to everyone.
Because you're a fucking liberal, that's
right. And yes, because that drives the point home exactly. Because I did not want to spread this. I cared about others enough to let them down. I mean, you can imagine what I was planning on cooking for this thing. I mean, you already know where I was going to go.
Oh, yeah.
And it was big and it was hard, but I made the choice to put the others first.
How dare you think of other people?
Right. And, that's that liberal part, I guess. And it sucked. This sickness that's ran through my house the last few days, I know it's impacting everyone in a certain way. So, I just want to encourage everyone. Health is first. Health is first. Yes, it messed up our little party we had. Here we are. We're still doing our thing. It is New Year's Day. But, keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself healthy. I don't know if it is influenza A. Now, that is what I wanted to affirm from the doctor of our, outlook on it. That is what, my daughter and I'm pretty sure my wife ended up with. Hopefully I'm not, coming down with that. But, I just wanted to, iterate right now how important it is to stay home if you don't feel right. Stay home if you don't feel good. Don't pass this stuff to everyone. The whole COVID thing, like I said, we didn't know what we were dealing with. I was willing to wear a mask. Yes, we laugh at the fact that we were walking in one direction down the aisles at Walmart. How stupid was that?
Nobody followed that anyway.
Right. But I did. That's the thing. I'm willing to respect your business and how you're trying to keep this, whether it worked, how ridiculous. These people are like, oh, yeah, I was right. I was right about the jab and all this other bullshit. And it's like, man, I was willing to do what a renowned doctor who writes books, who writes the textbooks for doctors, was willing to do. And, the current regime that we have wants to find a way to throw him in prison.
But they didn't. They didn't do it while they were in office the last time. They didn't do it while they're in office this time. Instead, he was talking about, hey, can we inject bleach? Yeah. And 2 idiots did and died from it.
Well,
but no, they wanted to go on about this horse dewormer that these idiots are taking, and then they they get COVID anyway. And hell, even his brain dead doctor that backed him up ended up dying from COVID.
Right.
The one that had his eyes closed every time he talked.
Yeah.
The brain surgeon.
There's a lot of those, ironic, things that go along with that. But yeah, no, and Fauci, like I said, I praise Fauci. Did he always
they want to shit on him, but the dude has a track record of multiple administrations, left wing, right wing, Republican, Democrat. Yeah. He worked for all of them.
He's literally the guy that writes textbooks for medical departments.
And they were like, "You're doing this so you can make money." Like he did one thing that he makes a couple $100 a year on.
Right. I don't know the numbers.
It was really low. It was.
But this Fauci hate to me is just ridiculous. I know we can look back on things and we can kind of
But they want a villain. They want that mustache twirling villain. That's what it is.
I caught him. It's like, dude, you graduated high school.
You literally rode the short bus,
but you knew everything.
But you know more than fucking
doctors. But you know more than Dr. Fauci of all people. I will put my faith in there. Of course, there's plenty of U.S. government corruption that had to influence Fauci. Do I equate that to Fauci participating?
There was a shit ton of insider trading going on in Congress.
Plenty.
That shit ain't even a conspiracy.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. They both fucking did it.
But to think there wasn't some kind of influence on Fauci, I get that part. But did I still think that he was the best bet I had to keep me out alive of COVID? Because we thought it was going to be a death sentence at first. We thought it was going to be a death sentence. Actually, we thought that it was going to be 15 cases and it was all going to be done by next week because our president told us that. But, magically,
it'll just go away.
Magically, it just ended up being the entire fucking planet, crashing the entire economy. Global. And, and then Biden got to take the blame for all of it, So good on him.
Oh, man. The stories I can tell you about living in Alabama during that time, but that's going to be for another subject. Here's a segue for you. Toilet paper. Let's talk about toilet paper. And this happened during the whole scare where do you remember back when they changed the packaging to where it was like they were all 4-packs? Because I did retail at the time, and yes, we had pallets of toilet paper in the back. We brought them out in stages. Every 2 hours, we bring out a fresh pallet. But pretty much your option was these little 4-packs or 6-packs of toilet paper. But I noticed one thing that happened during that time is the quality went through the floor. And it stayed
of the actual toilet.
Yes, and it has stayed that way since.
Huh.
Because even when you get 2-ply and you fold it over, now it's 4-ply, just the wind resistance of reaching down to wipe your fingers go through it. Like no matter what brand you buy, it just tears apart. It just falls apart. Whether it be the quilted, whether it be Bounty, be it Great Value. Before, I used to get the Great Value because, it was a little bit rougher and left some lint, but that was some tough stuff.
Right.
Now you look at it, you go, and it just, I can't even blow my nose with this stuff. And I noticed that happened during when COVID hit. And I'm wondering, did manufacturing of toilet paper actually change?
No.
And they just never went back? Why is it such terrible now?
This was literally Joe Biden. It's his fault. It's all the way. Joe Biden.
Mustache twirling.
He auto-pinned.
Evil Uncle Joe.
He auto-pinned a magical executive order that said.
These secret executive orders. These are super duper underground government.
Well, this is that auto pen, man. This is that auto pen. I'm telling you, Joe Biden single-handedly ruined the toilet paper industry.
Now the next, but now that we're on the subject of what was happening during 2020, you mentioned respect for the business, and there were people who have never respected businesses, and what they forget is it's private property. They make the rules. What they say goes. And it started kind of when people want to take their AR-15s into Applebee's. That's private property.
Right.
They make the rules. You can scream Second Amendment all you want. Go fuck yourself. It's private property.
Of course, the postage is posted. The signs are posted. Where you can't do that.
And that's
Second Amendment all the way. I mean, whether they want to respect that or not, it's like you're actually able to put those up if you have a business. And if you serve alcohol, it's just a no-brainer.
Right. You know? But again, though,
let's be responsible.
If the place is so dangerous, you need an AR-15 or any kind of weapon to go into, they're not building a fucking Applebee's there. They don't build those in places where you fucking need firearms.
Well,
but like I was telling you before, I was doing retail during that time. And our poor door greeter, this woman's 91 years old. She got maced. She had a knife pulled on her.
Because of the one in, one out sort of thing, right?
No. It's over. You need to put on a mask. We would provide masks. But just like you need to put on a mask and fucking spraying her. Like, dude, that's not self-defense. That's an assault.
Yeah, it's literally just you throwing a fit.
And we know somebody who, when they told him to wear a mask, he pulled out a fucking pistol on him.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, an actual criminal act with a firearm. And I cannot make this individual understand. You committed a crime with a firearm.
Yeah.
If you were actually prosecuted for it, you could never own guns again.
Yeah. That's actually a domestic violence charge there.
But just the fact of
it's an assault, actually.
Put this thing over your face so you don't make other people sick. Right. My fucking gun, this fucking hillbilly cowboy bullshit. Right. And again, it's private property. But I will say this about the mask: what I fucking hated. There was one type where the ear straps was too short, and it actually did kind of hurt my ears because it was so small. And the cheap ones where just getting it near the other ear, the fucking strap would break. It's like the quality just went through the floor, just like the quality of toilet paper.
Well, I have a friend who is a nurse, and immediately when this went down, of course there was a shortage of all of that stuff. And her being a nurse, they had to improvise because, obviously in a hospital setting, they're required to have some sort of mouth covering at that point. Now, most of theirs is medical grade and this and that, but they were kind of shorted that because it was needed for patient care, actual exams and this and that. So there was, for the long-term wear, she actually made me a really cool black face mask out of cloth. I mean, it had the folds. I mean, and she was like, "Here, I'm giving you this," and it was awesome.
The washable fabric,
right? So I go to my boss because we're required to wear them at that point, and I said, "Hey, man, is this okay for me to wear?" And he's like, "Yes," and I need your friend to make 90 more of them so we can give them to staff. And I was like, "Whoa, hold on, dude! Like, who are you? Who are you, man? Like, we're not ordering nobody to do any of this stuff. This is a nurse who just reached out, helped me out, so I will have something to do this." And, I loved it. I hate masks, by the way. I know I'm pro mask, but I hate them at the same sense. Like, I don't want to wear it. And now I don't see a lot of sense in wearing it. But the thing is if I go to a place that I want to patronize, and I go to the door, and they say, "Hey, you know what? Well, look at Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock, Texas right now. Huge COVID outbreak up there. I mean,
I wonder why.
Right. Well, they have everything up there, though. I mean, really. They got Raider Rash up there. Like, they invent shit in Lubbock, to catch. You wash your hands before you go to the bathroom there. But anyway. Lubbock, Texas.
I mean, it's a good idea. It keeps you from getting VD because there are some things that you get through service contact.
No, there really is.
You can get herpes through service contact.
But there's a huge outbreak of those things. And the thing is if I was to go to an establishment and they said, hey, look, this stuff ramped up, it's not on my radar right now. COVID's not, even though there's COVID literally in my house right now. Am I running around wearing a mask? No. Am I running around spraying Lysol everywhere? Yes. Am I washing my hands? I always have. But the thing is, if I go to an establishment and I want to patronize it, and they say, you need to wear a mask to come in here, I really don't see the inconvenience of doing that. I'm not going to show my ass at the door. I don't feel like they've infringed on my rights in any way. Because
you have the right to go somewhere else.
Right, exactly. And to be people that claim F your feelings, to act like that. Speaking of MAGA people, I want to bring that up of their actions in this, because they said we were right about everything the whole time. No, you acted like a fucking toddler the whole time is what you did.
One, you acted like a toddler the whole time. Two, you said everything.
Right.
You vomited up every single possibility, every single conspiracy there was, and then at the end, when you were proven wrong, you still spiked the football and run around with your hands up in the air.
Well, it's like the adage that playing chess with a pigeon. It's it's going to lose, but it's still going to strut around the board and shit all over it like it did something. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and sorry to bring up MAGA in that, but, talking about COVID, I can't help but think
headache
of their attitude towards this. And then, like you said, they spiked the football now. Now that we're looking back on it, some of the things worked, some of the things didn't. We're starting to reach that herd immunity, right?
Because everybody on the fucking planet now we're stuck with this.
But if you look
this is not going away now.
Look at this as a litmus test. This is a litmus toward if we were to have another one, look at what they're going to do. They're going to act. They're not going to be willing to do any of the things that they're asked of that actually could inconvenience them in any way. I mean, you're talking about people who literally put, their kids in danger, and then now they want to act like it didn't even happen.
Well, look at the measles outbreaks that are going on right now.
No. So and this is what they've done. They've weakened our, trust, I guess. Of course we shouldn't trust the government. But you know what?
Of course.
I don't regret any vaccines that I have taken. And I really think that it helped to stop measles, rubella, all this other stuff that
MMR.
Yeah, and there's things coming
10
back.
Of them
Like, what is the one where stuff like falls off of you?
Leprosy.
There's literally a case of leprosy like in Florida. Of course it had to be Florida, right?
Yeah.
But we're going back to these things because people don't want to vaccinate their children, even on that level of the stuff that's already been proven that's good.
These people are killing their kids left and right, and they still believe they're righteous. They still champion, well, I made the right decision, and you've done killed 2 of your kids.
Right. But here's the thing. I totally get the skepticism on the COVID thing, okay? If you want to be skeptical of the COVID vaccines, don't do it. I get it.
I mean, I was skeptical. I wasn't medically cleared to get it because at the time I was having medical operations done and it interfered with the medications that I was on. So I could not get vaccinated even if I wanted to. Now, yes, they fast-tracked it. You can suck off Donald Trump if you want. It was Germany that came up with it. But when millions of people had gotten the vaccine and they're fine, let's go.
Right.
Give it to me. I'll toughen it up.
Well, my thing is just forget the COVID vaccine. Can we at least stay with the base of what you had to do to go to a public school?
To go to public school, you needed 10 vaccinations.
Right. And we stopped
minimum 10 that you
smallpox. We stopped leprosy. I don't know if there's
polio.
a vaccine. Yeah, polio is a big one.
Right now, the big thing for people to be doing is licking ass for some reason, and the only reason why you can do that now is because of the polio vaccine.
The polio vaccine.
That's how you got polio was fecal to It was fecal to mouth transmission. You can't do this kinky shit now because of polio.
Well, whatever it is,
and they're now trying to put people back in iron fucking lungs.
Right. And we've just weakened that system. No, I trust the government less than anyone. I mean, really. But on the same sense, I do trust science and I do trust medicine. Now, how the government's handling it, I get it. But I'm not going to go back and say that all those vaccinations I took as a child were some kind of Democratic hoax. And what we've done is weakened our system to the fact where now, because you don't like the COVID vaccine, now you're questioning every vaccine that's been here since long before you and I even existed.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Do you know? Okay, do you know about the doctor that lied?
Oh, no.
Okay,
talking about the agenda.
These anti-vaxxers have based their bullshit off of, and it's not even necessarily what he said. You had this one doctor, and what he did is he developed his own vaccine. And he went on this campaign claiming that the current vaccine caused autism and is bad for you. Take mine. He was shitting on one to sell his own.
Right.
Not just say vaccines are bad. And it comes to find out his vaccine did fuck all. It didn't work.
When was this? What year?
I forget, dude.
I know, but are we talking about the early 1900s, the late 1800s? What are we talking about?
I want to say it was in the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
But basically, he was just peddling his own vaccine. They leave that part out.
Salesman.
They leave all that bullshit out and just focus on the part where he said that I think it was MMR vaccine that was available caused autism, and they fucking run with that shit and champion it around. Yeah. And it was a doctor. He went to school like the rest of you, and none of that is fucking proof. He got disproven. He got disbarred, or not disbarred. He can never practice medicine again. He retracted his own fucking statements and his own papers. He's been completely discredited. And stupid motherfuckers on Facebook still champion this bullshit. Right. And now you got people out there killing their kids.
So you're saying the American public has always been pretty dumb when it comes to propaganda and buying for grifters.
Right. And they want to champion this guy. And they have no idea who he is and what happened to him. He was still peddling his own bullshit.
Right.
It's just like that church that was selling the magic miracle cure, what the fuck ever. It was industrial bleach. Literal bleach. Just heat it up in a bowl and inhale it.
You're not talking about the late night, Jimmy Swaggart thing?
No, I'm talking about an actual fucking church.
And send it to you for $23.99?
No, these people were actually killing folks. Oh, they even tried to run off to South America to avoid prosecution. But they were literally selling industrial bleach, telling people to fucking drink it, to put in their food, to heat it up and inhale it. They were was it
our current president pretty much
Magic Miracle Cure or something silver. But they were fucking making people sick and killing folks left and right. And people were just buying it and buying it and buying it because they're fucking stupid.
Right. Well, we are. I mean, we're subject to those things. We're subject to something that's going to help us. We want to hear what aligns with, our agenda. We want something to help. We trust the media. We used to. And then now what? Is there anything to trust?
Welcome to the New Year's show. Hang on. Is 2026 going to be better than 2025? Likely fucking not. All right, cool.
Thanks. Well, that's all that.
Yep. Good night, everybody.